Good morning. I'm meteorologist Shane Hinton with your September 4th morning tropical update. As we take a look out into the Atlantic, we are monitoring 3 areas of potential tropical development. Let's start further out into the Atlantic, closer to the west coast of Africa. That area that had a 30% chance over the next week yesterday. Well, now it's dropped down to a 20% chance of development over the next 7 days. More toward the central Atlantic, we have a small tropical wave that has only a 10% chance of development over the next 48 hours and the next 7 days. And then we have this area right here in the Caribbean. Now, it still has a 30% chance of development over the next week as it moves toward the Bay of Campeche and the southern Gulf of Mexico. We'll keep our eyes peeled for it in regard to maybe any impacts here in Texas. However, if you take a look at the forecast models comparing the GFS and the European models, you'll notice that it doesn't really find a well-defined center as we flash forward to Friday morning. This is a snapshot of what 8:30 in the morning could look like. As we leap forward into the weekend, this is Sunday at noon, we're maybe seeing a weak little kind of detection of a center toward the Gulf, but overall nothing compelling enough to think that we would have a tropical concern. And as we flash forward into the beginning of next week, we certainly don't see anything that would be impacting Texas at this time. Let's take a look at the European forecast model. It historically does better with tropical systems. That's why I've chosen this one. This is walking you through the next several days. Yes, we'll have some isolated rain chances here in central Texas. Those will not be from the tropical disturbances that I mentioned that we could be monitoring. As we go into Friday, I want you to notice how dry the state starts to trend Friday night all the way through the weekend. We've got a front that's going to be moving through and then a reinforcement of cooler and drier air. Now, any kind of possible tropical signature that we have moving through the Caribbean into the southern Gulf of Mexico, I think it would kind of batter up against that front that's moving through the area, and it's not going to be able to actually push into Texas. That's why we're going to be staying dry, sunny, pleasant, actually gorgeous for our weekend upcoming here in central Texas. Even as we head into the first half of next week, I think that area of high pressure will keep any moisture toward our south, and any possible tropical disturbance or even tropical moisture in general will kind of just run into that front and stall out over the Gulf of Mexico. Now, the 6 to 10 day rainfall outlook across the country seems to support this as well. If we zoom in here locally, you'll notice that a majority of the Lone Star State is expecting below average rainfall in the 6 to 10 day outlook. We do see just the smallest sliver of the Texas coastline that does fall under that above average rainfall chance, but this is something that we will naturally be monitoring and updating you on each and every day. Now, if we do get a name system in the tropics, we move on to the F name this year, which is Francine. We will continue to track the tropics for you here in the KVUE Weather Center and provide updates on air and online.